Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to MATC Now, coming to you live from the downtown campus in the MPTV studios. I'm your host, Luis De Leon, and today on our show, we will be talking to Marwil Santiago, and along with that, learn more about the Job Shop program. All of that and much more to come on MATC Now. Welcome back, everyone. We have a very special guest co-host with us. I would like to introduce Dr. Sarah Adams. Dr. Adams, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do here at MATC?
Okay. Well, thank you, Luis. I'm actually the Associate Vice President of Student Services and the Registrar. I have had the pleasure of being here for 30 years, a long time. And in that time, I've had the opportunity to work with all of our students. I started in our tutoring center. I worked in our student accommodations office. I've been over the registration area, records, the welcome centers, interpreting services. So I've had the opportunity just to work with a lot of varied services that we have here at MATC. And I've enjoyed it, and I'm still enjoying it.
And that's always the important thing. You had quite the journey, it seems like, so.
I have.
Yeah, well, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And bringing that along with us to our first story today, where Jeff Gus talks to the head of emergency services about safety drills and procedures.
Hello, my name is Sherry Olszewski, and I work for the Department of Public Safety here at MATC. And I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about what the Public Safety Department does. We provide security for the entire college community, all 4 campuses. We're here around the clock, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And what we want to do is really just create the safest, most comfortable environment for students and faculty to learn and to work. The best thing that people coming into the college can do is to really just learn about our procedures, get involved, find ways that you can incorporate the safety procedures that we recommend into your daily routine, because really the most important thing in any emergency is knowing what to do and then practicing to do it, so you have to be prepared. And then just getting involved, taking that extra step to find out what to do, and then being ready to do it in an emergency situation. When we do lockdown drills on campus, really that could cover a number of scenarios. It could be for an active shooter situation. That's the most common thing that people relate to, active shooter. But it could also be for some kind of hazard that's going on around the campus. Our downtown Milwaukee campus is right across the street from a jail. If we ever had someone escape, police might ask us to lock down to keep people inside until they've secured the exterior of the building. So lockdowns are something that is a type of evacuation that we control movement within the campus until we can regain control of situations, emergencies that might be going on either inside the campus or directly affecting the outside of the campus. The best way that we prepare is really our drills. That's the chance that we get to tell our procedures to the college community, and then we actually get to practice what we do. So for lockdown, we practice hiding in the classrooms, closing and locking the doors, turning out lights, getting out of sight. Obviously for fire, we practice evacuating, getting out of the building. For severe weather, we practice going down to the basement. That's the opportunity for students and faculty to learn where to go and what to do in a college crisis, an emergency that affects the college. And really practice is the best way to be prepared. We can tell you in writing, we can give you handbooks, we have guides in all the classrooms that tell you the procedures, but really you're going to learn the most when you actually do. So drills is really our best way of preparing the college community.
Very informative story there, and I wonder how, you know, the procedures have changed over the last, I guess, 30 years. As you said, you've been here at MATC for quite a long time, so it must be very reassuring to know that we have these drills and procedures here.
Absolutely. You know, when I first started at MATC, we had the fire drills. These latter years, we've been having the active shooter drills. We've been preparing for this. We've been in our offices, and the preparation, we're allowed to have staff that participate in these drills. So it's really comforting to know that we have people in charge that know what they're doing and that they're preparing us in case of an emergency.
Well, helps the students feel safe as well, which is always a positive.
It does.
Next up, Tara Jefferson will walk you through the job shop and how it helps students successfully transition into the workforce. Take a look.
MATC Job Shop, located at the downtown campus on the first floor of the S building in room S114, is a great employment resource for students.
Job Shop is a resource for students and graduates of MATC. We are here to help in any aspect of anyone looking for any type of work. It could be getting in contact with employers, it could just be job postings, it can be needing help with resumes or cover letters, it could be just needing advice on like where to look or how to look.
The Job Shop offers tons of resources to help students, whether it's packets and brochures on how to perfect your resumes and cover letters, or their online tools.
Our biggest resource is our website, wisconsintechconnect.com. That's the website that employers will use anytime they're looking to contact any students or graduates of MATC. So if they have a job posting, either part-time, full-time, if they have an internship, they'll advertise it on that website.
In addition to the online help and polite and enthusiastic greetings,
good morning, welcome to the Job Shop. Can I help you?
in-person one-on-one sessions are also available with the associates at the Job Shop. Tanita McGee, Katie Rosansky, and Jenny McGilligan.
We do a lot of workshops. One of our biggest things is helping with resumes, so we'll actually critique resumes. We'll do a resume review with them. We have a packet developed that kind of explains what a resume is for and what they should be doing with it. The same thing with cover letters. We can work with students and graduates on cover letters. We have employers coming on campus all the time. We also have a new event called our Employers Row, where it's kind of like a mini job fair where a few employers will show up a few times a month, just looking to talk with students, looking to give them information about their companies, maybe let them know about different job openings that they have coming up in the future.
So, as you can see, the Job Shop offers terrific aid and lots of resources for students here at MATC. If you're looking for jobs or internships, be sure to check out wisconsintechconnect.com.
It's great to see that MATC has so many resources to help students prepare for employment search. Dr. Adams, anything to add?
Yes, I think it's also important to note that they will go through mock interviews with you also. If the student, sometimes you're a little nervous when you're getting ready to interview.
Right.
You've been in school, so they'll sit with you, they'll work with you on mock interviews, how to dress, and the most common questions that employers will ask.
Right, and I remember last year when this program was previously called Stormwatch, I interviewed Jenny McGilligan and Tina
Yes.
McGee, and that was great opportunity there, and they're wonderful people, so I highly recommend even for students to go see those people, very comfortable to talk to. So
Absolutely, and I think it's also great because they have all of the employment jobs, coming on campus, the events, and students have the opportunity to actually meet with the employers, and I think that's great.
Right, well, always great to hear. Next up, Nick Harvey will introduce us to the innovative process of the Health Information Technology program.
MATC offers a wide variety of programs and courses for its students to pursue. One in particular is Health Information Technologies.
My name is Patty Winters. I'm an instructor in the radiography program here at MATC. This program has a great reputation out in the field. I really enjoy working at a technical community type college. I like the philosophy of the technical colleges, helping people to better themselves, get a new start, a new career, and I love radiography. Radiography is a really exciting field because there's so many things that you can do with it once you get your basics. Once your advisor tells you you're ready to go, you have all your prereqs done, go ahead and sign up for petitioning. Petitioning students are chosen in the spring, and then we start the following August. And we are a once-a-year start. We take 24 students in our program, and we start once a year. So the petitioning is in the early spring with a start in the fall. It's a 2-year associate's degree program here, and we have to know, of course, all the bones and organs in the body. We have to know how to manipulate the equipment because we're dealing with ionizing radiation. So sometimes we're technically called radiologic technologists. But you may have someone say, I'm an X-ray tech, or I'm an X-ray technologist.
My name is Carissa Hutcherson. I am a first semester full-time radiography student here at MATC. The radiology program here prepares you to become a registered radiologic technologist here in Wisconsin. You must pass the registry, and you are then able to become certified and work pretty much anywhere.
So we deal with ionizing radiation. We have to learn about radiation protection, obviously, because it can harm the body possibly. So we learn all the safety aspects of using radiation on our patients, and safety for ourselves as well as our patients. We have to know what happens in the body, so we have to know radiation biology, what happens when the radiation goes into the body. We have to know how the image is produced on our image receptor. So we learn all the technical aspects about that. We learn about physics, so radiation physics, a lot of anatomy and physiology, as well as patient care. So patient transfers, we learn how to do venipuncture. We learn about some pharmaceuticals that we deal with in radiology. So there's a lot to it.
Our main equipment we use is the X-ray tube. It consists of an anode and a cathode. It creates electromagnetic power to turn electrons into photons, which create the radiation. We alter those techniques by using kVp, which is kilovoltage power, which increase the power force behind the photons, and mass, which is milliamperage per second. And that creates how many electrons and how fast they go through the body. And by doing those two things in combination, or increasing one or decreasing the other, we can control how much radiation goes through the body and how light or dark or how much contrast the image has.
Well, we have, as you can see, we have our X-ray tubes. We have our tubes and our tables. We also have units, wall units. We teach students how to go into surgery, and we use surgical, it's called a C-arm. We have one of those in the back there too. We work typically now with computerized radiography. So we have to know computers, we have to know how to manipulate computers and manipulate the software and things like that with that aspect. We also, here we have a dark room, so we actually do regular plain films. Those are done more now for our learning purposes than we actually do out in the field, because most everything now is digital.
After completing the program, I want to immediately apply, take my registry, which is the test to become registered, and then hopefully I get a job anywhere. And in the future, I want to look into more information in modalities like CT or MRI or mammography, and that way they're just kind of specialized fields for radiography that you can go into. I also want to get more information about maybe becoming a radiology assistant, so those are kind of some long-term goals. Almost all entry-level radiographers only have associate's degree, but for furthering, if you want to become a teacher, like working, all of our teachers here at MATC for the radiography program must complete a bachelor's and then a master's for teaching. To do the radiology assistant, I would have to complete a bachelor's, so I've been looking into a couple different programs, such as Concordia. UW Milwaukee actually has a program. They have an online program as well. And so there are a few different programs in the southeastern Wisconsin area to complete a bachelor's.
It's a vast and growing field. Healthcare isn't going away. Radiography is wonderful. You can work at a hospital, you can work at a clinic, you can work third shift, second shift, first shift. There's a lot of other opportunities once you get in. You do need a pretty strong math and science background, especially anatomy and physiology. So don't skip over the sciences and the math.
If you're interested in getting into the healthcare field, I would just suggest that you get all the information you can. I've looked into a couple different fields in the healthcare here at MATC. They're all amazing, but I think radiography best fit me. And so make sure that you find something that you truly love and you enjoy going to work every day, and just go for it.
With that, we move along to our interview with Marwil Santiago. Why don't you introduce us, or introduce yourself rather, to the viewers at home?
Sure. Thanks, Luis. Again, my name is Marwil Santiago. I do recruitment for Milwaukee Area Tech College. With that, one of my main responsibilities is to visit high schools and to talk to kids about the possibilities of starting their college education at MATC. But I've been here about 17 years now. January it'll be 17 years.
Wow.
I've had quite a range of experience, from being an educational assistant for a printing program, working in the academic support labs, and for the last few years I've been recruiting, and it's been a great opportunity to be out in the high schools doing so.
Right, and so what's your like specialty that you consider with like recruitment and stuff? I mean, I know we were speaking before about
Sure.
nursing and the School of Health.
Sure. Well, our recruitment team has 5 full-time recruiters, and we all kind of have our specialties, although we are considered generalists. Mine is healthcare, or School of Health Sciences. So typically I can guide a student through the admissions process, advise them initially with some petition questions that we have for our health programs. And when things get a little complicated, when it gets a little more detailed, so if a student has questions about the career, I try to be the link to faculty and other students so they can get their questions answered.
Great. Do you work with the students and let them know about our pathways and different things like that?
Oh, absolutely. Pathways, for those of you who don't know, is basically a program or a model of offering our programs so that along the way, maybe you're aiming for an associate's degree, but along the way you will earn either certificates or technical diplomas. At each level there are breakpoints too. You can choose to continue studying, or you can choose to go out into the workforce to put to use what you've worked for so long. After that, pathways lead into articulated agreements with 4-year colleges. So after completing an associate degree, you can use what you learned and move that on to a 4-year college.
And going along with that, so what do you think makes MATC stand out as far as the nursing program goes?
Sure. Well, nursing and so many of our other health programs are in such high demand, and really Milwaukee Area Technical College, it's one of its main goals is to get students out into the workforce. Our students are doing amazing out there. Last year, nursing students, I believe the graduate report said 91% found jobs, actually 96% found jobs within 6 months of graduation.
Wow.
So they have some great outcomes when it comes to finding work. I would say that is one of the biggest benefits of starting off at a technical college, especially for young people going right into college. It's a fast way to get into your career, and it still affords you the opportunity to continue your studies.
I imagine with the event of the Promise, you had more students that were interested in coming to MATC.
Yes, yes. Yes, Promise has definitely increased our impact in the high schools. Because of Promise, we're able to talk to so many more students and to really add some value to the college. It's a great way for us to build that direct from high school community. And last year we did see quite a huge increase who came from the high schools. You know, we had over 3,000 applicants applying for Promise, and many did enroll the following fall.
And I believe a lot of those were School of Health students?
Yes, yeah. The School of Health, definitely one of the more popular programs since the job market is so strong in that area.
Well, very good. Can you briefly touch on the Bridge program?
Sure. The Summer Bridge program for Promise?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Promise has a number of requirements. One of them is the ACT score. We are looking for 16 or higher. We see that some students find it difficult to get that 16 or higher, and we've seen a number of students applying with 15s. So in response to that, students who have a 15 on their ACT are invited in for a 2-week summer bridge program. Once they complete that summer bridge, they will have basically meet the requirement of 16 or higher on the ACT. And they'll be able to benefit from the entire Promise program.
Awesome. And well, so very briefly, how did you get into recruiting, and what made you want to be able to, I guess, because recruitment really makes a difference at MATC, and
Sure.
that's what. So.
Sure. Well, I've always had a lot of interest in working in the community, and helping people find that perfect fit for college and their careers has always been very interesting to me. And being here for as many years as I have been, I've seen so many times that students, maybe I work with them early on in their college career, and I run into them somewhere, in the store, in the community somewhere, and they always tend to remember me, and they tell me how great their education at MATC was, how their careers are working out for them, and it's more than usual just a positive experience for many of the students.
All right, well, great, and thank you so much for coming in today.
Sure, thank you for the opportunity.
No, of course, it's always good to hear about the experiences. So,
Thank you.
Next up, Sierra Hernitz will introduce us to rebranding here at MATC.
My name's Bodan Zachary. I'm the general manager of Milwaukee PBS. I arrived in Milwaukee a year ago to head the station, and from day one, I met a lot of viewers who referred to the station as Channel 10 and Channel 36. And I found it interesting that most people did not call it MPTV. The more we started talking about the fact that everybody's known the station for many years for Channels 10 and Channel 36, it started making sense to reconsider the MPTV part. We talked to a lot of our viewers, we conducted online surveys, and everybody supported our idea of rebranding the station as Milwaukee PBS. That name celebrates two things. It celebrates Milwaukee, the place that we call home, and PBS, one of the most trusted brands in America. The whole thing is the programming will remain basically unchanged. We have always focused on local programs that reflect the communities that we serve throughout southeastern Wisconsin, and we've always aired the best programming that's available from PBS. So other than changing the name to Milwaukee PBS, viewers will not see any difference. We can't accomplish everything all at once, but Tai Yang came up with a terrific design, and we started rolling out the Milwaukee PBS logo slowly but surely. And over the next 2 months, viewers are going to see some vestiges of MPTV, but they'll also start seeing the new Milwaukee PBS logo. Our plan is on January 1st, 2017, we will completely switch over to Milwaukee PBS on everything, including our website, which will become milwaukeepbs.org.
It's great to hear about the rebranding of MATC, and I hope to hear more about it in the future. Coming now, Luis gives us the MATC Minute. Luis?
Thank you, Dr. Adams. This week on the MATC Minute, a reminder to all students to get started on signing up for your next semester of classes if you haven't already. You can register online or at the Welcome Center at any of the MATC campuses. Tomorrow, MATC's Oak Creek campus is holding a health and wellness fair in the upper lobby from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. There are free samples and giveaways, and anyone who brings their Stormer Pass ID will be entered for a chance to win a prize. Also tomorrow at the Mequon campus, there is a Native American dancing demonstration from noon to 1. This demonstration will also be going on Wednesday, the 16th, from 10:30 to 11:30 a.m. at the West Dallas campus, as well as from 12:30 to 1:30 at the Oak Creek campus. If you are going through some financial stress and need some guidance, the West Dallas campus is there to help from 6 to 7 p.m. in room 107 and 117. Someone will help you determine what is causing your financial anxiety and make steps towards reducing those problems. And that's all for the MATC Minute. Back to you, Dr. Adams.
Thank you, Luis. It's great that MATC cares for their students enough to help them with problems such as financial stress. MATC is a diverse institution that people of different backgrounds can learn about other cultures, especially in an entertaining way such as dancing.
Well, it's always great to hear. And so, now that we're coming down to the end of our show, and so I wanted to ask you a couple questions now about your journey to getting to MATC. So you said you've spent 30 years here. You've seen a lot of transitions, like the M3 initiative, for example. And so, in your opinion, what do you think makes MATC stand out?
I honestly believe MATC stands out because of its faculty, because of staff that are not just here because it's a job. They're here because they know we make a difference. I mean, it really goes to what Marwell said. When you're in the community, you live in the community, you meet students all the time. You meet students where you know a difference has been made in their lives. Our faculty are world faculty. They're, you know, their backgrounds, they work within the communities, they've worked within these jobs, they know these positions, they know the things that they're teaching, and that makes a difference, that hands-on experience. And then you have staff that really care about the students, and you have a college that cares about the students. We call them, a lot of the services we provide, wraparound services. And what that means is the student is here in the middle, and we'll put everything around that student to help that student be successful, whether that's tutoring, academic support, or whatever it is, counseling, advising.
Well, that's great. And I mean, every week we always have, you know, my guest co-hosts, they always seem so just passionate about MATC and proud that they work here. And so it's great to see that from you, and it's very reassuring to students as well. So I want to thank you so much for joining us this afternoon, Dr. Adams. And so it was a wonderful time having you. And that wraps up everything with this week's episode. Don't forget to join us next week with our 4th episode. We're live every Monday afternoon at 3:30 p.m. I'm Luis De Leon. See you next week.